I'm Sarah from Eagle Protect. In this video, we'll talk about different glove colors, what they mean, and how companies are integrating them into their food safety strategy. So from black to green to blue to orange, disposable gloves come in a wide variety of colors. We frequently get asked if you use the orange ones for such and such a task, or if the green ones are meant to be used with chemicals. But in fact, glove colors don't indicate their thickness, their glove usage, or their chemical protection. There's no industry standard as to what the glove colors mean. Glove suppliers typically offer an assortment of gloves that meets the needs of their customers. Let's talk about picking a glove color. It's a common practice to use a glove that contrasts with the color of the product being handled, especially in the food industry. This way, if a glove does happen to fail, rip, or get a chunk of the glove in the product being manufactured, it's more easily seen. For example, on many food processing lines, you'll see companies using a blue glove, since we don't really eat blue food. That way, a blue glove chunk would be visually noticeable and seen by the workers, and then the foreign material contamination can be addressed. With this being said, a company also has to consider the work environment. For example, one of our customers produces hamburgers, and as the meat is being broken down, they use our green gloves because the green contrasts with the red meat that's being handled. But they have a blue conveyor belt that's moving the meat along. If they used a blue glove and it failed, it wouldn't be very noticeable on the blue conveyor belt. The next way to use glove colors is to visually color code different departments. This is a food safety movement that we see companies trending towards and we love. Glove colors are an excellent way for quality control or management to kind of color code their departments. This is a very quick and easy visual way to minimize cross-contamination risks. For example, if my production line is wearing the blue gloves and my sanitation team wears black gloves, I know no one with the black gloves should be touching anything close to the production line. But also within production, there can be some differentiation. For instance, I may use those green gloves for handling raw meat, which has its own food safety protocols on its own. I can use orange gloves on my lines that are producing allergen-free foods. Glove color is a very easy visual cue to remind workers, as well as the managers, and the rest of the staff to know what you can and can't be touching, handling, cleaning, moving. Glove colors are also an easy visual cue for managers to see that their employees are using the proper equipment for the task that they're doing. You wouldn't want to buy some thick black gloves for your sanitation team, which is handling harsh chemicals, to be using that thin blue glove from the processing line. Glove colors can also be used as a uniform, and this tends to be more of a personal preference than for a specific safety reason. For example, we have a customer that uses blue gloves for making their product. This is for food safety and to have a contrasting color like we talked about earlier. But in their store, when they're serving customers, they wear a different color glove because it matches their uniform and supports their branding. The last thing we'll talk about is visual safety cues. This one seems to be a bit more important in the emergency sectors. For instance, EMS workers don't want to use the black gloves because they can't see blood on them. They prefer to use a blue glove, partly because they can see when there's contamination on the glove, like blood, but also they write the patient's vitals on the glove, so they need a glove color where it's readable. On the other hand, law enforcement and correctional officers tend to buy the black gloves. And that's a quick overview of why there's different colored disposable gloves and how to use them. If you have questions, browse through our YouTube channel, contact our team, or visit eagleprotect.com for more information. Thanks for watching.